Hello friends. Let me hope you are all doing well and everything is basically fine. And today we are going to be looking at what a PRO is. So basically, what would we mean, or what should come into your mind if someone talks about a PRO? Then we are going to try to register with some of the PROs, and that is what we are basically going to be looking at. And this is specifically for musicians, okay? Musicians, songwriters, movie makers, movie writers, song makers, songwriters, artists. So this one is for you. A PRO is a performance rights organization. An example of this in the UK is PRS, okay? So PROs collect income on behalf of songwriters and musicians and music publishers for public performances, okay? A PRO is a performance rights organization. So this PRO stands for Performance Rights Organization, okay? An example of this in the UK is PRS, okay? PROs, like we are talking about the performance rights organizations, collect income on behalf of songwriters and musicians and music publishers, okay? On behalf of songwriters and music publishers for public performances, okay? For public performances. An example of these include televisions, radios, clubs, restaurants, websites like live shows, bars, and public spaces like gyms and shops. PRO is something used as a bracket, okay, a bracket term for any, okay, for any collection society, okay, but strictly speaking, they are only a PRO when collecting performance rights, okay? There are also collection societies for mechanical rights. If you hear the term CMO, okay, this means collective management organizations. Companies with this name collect both compositional and mechanical royalties. Examples include IPRS, GEMA, and SESAM. Okay, a CMO, that is the what? Collective Management Organization, might also collect revenue for master recordings. Okay, depending on the CMO that you are basically using. So for us, we wanted to just know what a PRO is. So a PRO is a performance rights organization. An example of that is PRS in UK. So then besides a PRS in UK, we have BMI in USA. Then we also have SCAP in USA. So they are basically two. Okay. Would we try to look at some of them? Yes. Could we open here PRS and even get to know how much does it charge? So internet is putting us at a disadvantage, but as it is loading, let us be continuing with what? With this. Okay. Understanding. Okay. So why should you join a PRO? Joining a collecting society, joining a collection society is the only way to get your writer's share. Okay, your writer's share of any publishing revenue. And registering your works at a PRO is also one way to prove you are the writer of the song. In some territories, like here in the UK, one of the only ways to get your music onto TV series on terrestrial channels like BBC, ITV, Channel 4 is by having your song registered with PRS because of their bracket license deal. More on this later. Okay, so we shall be maybe looking at that later. Then besides that, do I have to join the PRO in my home territory? IPRS in India. Okay, technically, you do not have to join a PRO in your home territory. For example, PRS in the UK accepts members worldwide, no matter where you live. However, in terms of logistics, it might be good idea to work with a company in your time zone and country. So, but what I would add on this is you find that most of these PROs are also affiliated with some PROs in our home countries. So if I told you in Uganda, you're in India, you're in any part of the world, most of the times you find that these different organizations, those are the PROs, happen to associate with some PROs in our countries. So let me say, like here, you may find that the one in India is IPRS India over PRS India. Let me talk of Uganda, basically where I come from. You find that it is a branch, it is like an affiliate, or how do they call it? A franchise of UPRS. I mean of PRS, and for it is UPRS, Uganda Performance Rights, something like that. So basically, that is what you should also know, that some of them are already affiliated by. Okay, so besides that, if we come back here, are there different PROs for master rights and composition rights? Yes, there is different PROs in different territories for both master and composition rights. For example, the PRO for master rights includes PPL in the UK, PPL in India, and Sound Exchange in the US. If you are just a songwriter, you don't need to worry about master rights PROs. But if you are a recording artist, you need to make sure that your recordings are registered with them too. It also worth nothing that you can be a member of different PROs for different territories in the world. Okay, it is also worth nothing that you can be a member of different PROs for different territories in the world. What about mechanical rights? Okay, so let us also try to look at mechanical royalties, okay, or mechanical rights. Mechanical rights organizations collect royalties for songwriters, composers, and publishers. Mechanical rights are generated whenever a song is reproduced in the form of vinyl or CDs and OCD, a download or stream. In the UK, the organization that collects this is called MCPS. This stands for Mechanical Copyright Protection Society. IPRS in India are a CMO, which mean they collect both compositional and mechanical royalties. In the US, examples of companies who collect mechanical royalties include the Harry Fox Agency, Music Reports, the MLC. We understand that mechanicals can be complex subject a songwriter, and sometimes only by having a publisher do you have access to their infrastructure to collect the necessary royalties globally. Okay? Then, what are blanket licenses? Let me hope we are moving along. This is a license issued by a collection society to allow the user to use all compositions represented by the society. Blanket licenses are typically used by TV networks and radio stations. For example, the BBC will pay PRS an upfront annual fee. Okay, let's say 1 million. 1 million euros as an example. They then report the usage of each song on their channel to PRS, who pay royalties to the songwriters and publishers of those songs. A publisher may also grant a blanket license directly to the client, to use all of the songs in their catalog for an upfront fee, which would be split between them and their writers. If you want to opt out of a blanket license deals, you need to talk to your PRO or publisher directly. Okay, you should note that. This means that TVs pay PRS for them to use our music if you submit your music there, and they also have an option of them coming directly to you and you come into an agreement and they start using your music. But all that should be done in a talk where you have professional people good at that, because if you want to opt out of the blanket license or deals, you need to talk to your PRO or publisher directly. Okay, so if you have a publisher, why do you need to join the PRO too? So although having a publisher can help make sure your songs are registered correctly around the world, there are limitations to what they can do if they are not registered with a PRO. For example, if you are not registered with a PRO, then they won't be able to collect your songwriters' share. Okay, which could result into you missing out on owed income. Registering with a PRO is one time occurrence, and regardless of what happens to the relationship with your publisher, if you end your relationship with your publisher and move to a different one, your IPI number, membership number, will stay the same. To add to this, PROs are also rights bodies who fight for songwriters' rights on your behalf, and some offer funding schemes to assist the music making and promotion. In the UK, it costs €100 to join PRS, and in India, it costs 1,200 this income to join IPRS, but you will earn that back through your royalties. Okay, so for example, PRS also charges for people to join, and it charges €100 for you to do what? To join. Okay, so besides that, let me hope that you are picking something from this dialogue that we are happening to have. Then from there, do PROs collect in their country only? Do they, or do you need to join the one in every country or in your very country? Okay, So do PROs collect in their country only, or do you need to join one in every country? Okay. PROs are responsible for licensing platforms in their home territory and working with broadcasters in their home territory. Most PROs have reciprocal agreements with each other, okay, which means you don't have to join one in every country, okay. If you wish, you can also have various publishers presenting you for different territories, representing you for different territories, okay. So what do the terms writers share and publishers share mean? Okay, so compositional royalties are split between the writer's share and the publisher's what share. But the 1% of the split depends on your contract with your publishers. Some income streams will ensure that the split is 50-50. So if you are getting more than 50% from your publisher, they will be paying you an additional percent out of their designated 50%. Okay. Then besides that, do you have to distribute through Horus Music to be considered for the publishing register? No. We listen to all submissions that we receive, regardless of who they distribute with ANARA Publishing accepts submissions via the website, and you can read our submission guidelines before getting in touch. Please make sure to send streaming links only. Okay, so besides that, we've tried to look at what a PRO is and some of the advantages of that PRO. Then, besides that, the next thing, we shall be looking at something different from this. So thank you for watching. Remember to click that subscribe button. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Remember to give me a thumbs up.